Hello everyone, welcome back to Indian Asks Aussie Answers. I'm Krish.
And I'm Felicity. Today we're delving into non-verbal communication and its importance, especially in new cultural settings. Let's get started, Krish. How significant do you think non-verbal cues are in communication?
Look, they are incredibly significant. In many cases, non-verbal cues convey more than words. In India, much like in many cultures, body language, facial expressions, and hand gestures play a key role in communication.
Absolutely, Krish. Here in Australia, we rely heavily on non-verbal cues too. They can set the tone of the conversation even before a word is spoken. Body language, for instance, can greatly impact first impressions.
True. A firm handshake, for instance, often seen as sign of confidence, but in India, we might not emphasize a handshake as much, instead focusing on polite nod or a smile.
That's a great point. Non-verbal communication, like posture and gestures, can really vary across cultures. A thumbs up, for example, is positive here, but might be offensive in other cultures.
Interestingly, in India, a physical contact like handshakes, especially between different genders, male or female, isn't as common. A polite nod or a smile is more typical. Look, speaking of which, right? Hugging as a greeting is common in Australia. I noticed, even between men and women. Is that true?
Yes, it is, especially during Christmas seasons, birthdays, or wedding days. Even in a professional setting, it is common for a male co-worker to give a female co-worker a hug to wish them a Merry Christmas or a Happy Birthday.
Look, that's actually interesting for us. And look, what about the facial expressions?
They're universal to an extent. A smile is friendly worldwide, but the interpretation of other expressions can differ. For instance, maintaining eye contact is viewed positively in Australia, signifying attention and interest.
In contrast, some parts of India, especially in rural areas, prolonged eye contact with the elders or even the authority figures can be seen actually as disrespectful. It's more about showing respect through like a respectful gaze.
That's fascinating. It shows how cultural context can change the meaning of a nonverbal cue. Eye contact in a professional setting, for example, is generally expected in Australia, but it's important to be aware of these differences.
Indeed, understanding these non-verbal nuances is essential for effective communication, especially in a multicultural environment.
And it's not just about understanding, but it's also about adapting. Being observant of others' body language and responding appropriately can make a huge difference in how we connect with people.
Um, Absolutely. Observing and learning from these non-verbal cues of others can help bridges in the cultural gaps. It's all about being respectful and being aware.
Right. And remember, while adapting, it's also important to stay true to yourself. Authenticity is in communication, both verbal and non-verbal, is key.
That's a crucial point, Felicity. Being aware and adaptable, yet being authentic, is the essence of good communication. Thank you, viewers, for joining today into this insightful topic.
We hope this conversation helps you navigate the world of non-verbal communication across cultures. See you next time on Indian Asks Aussie Answers. Keep observing and learning. And remember, any comments or questions, just post them below or email us on.
Indian Asks Aussie Answers at gmail.com. Thank you.
Bye.